if you can hear a bunch of background noise because Frank has his TV up pretty loud.
Okay, it looks like we're live, I think.
Okay.
Use my, no, I don't know if we're live. It says we're, let me double check to make sure. I'm going to start this countdown right now. I'll check and see if it's popping up that it's live. Let's see.
Ah, cats.
I wash them because I'm trying to double check. Let's make sure it's live on the feed. Let's see here.
On mine, it has a blue thing that says stream this to your audience.
Yeah, it looks like it's live on Dancing Bear. Let me check for Elk Rack. Oh my goodness. Let me check here. Let's see. Okay, it says it's live. Okay. All right, let me check the YouTube channel. So hello everyone. We are checking all of our video streams to make sure everything is working right now. Please do like and share our video feed on your, yep, it's up there. Okay, let me check Elk Rack. So please make sure and share that with your friends so that they can enjoy our amazing show. Let's see. I think everything is going. Yep. Okay. Everything is live.
Okay. So we're live, huh?
Yes. Everything's live. I double checked all of the feed. Well, I didn't check Twitch, but we're live on Facebook on both channels, and we're live on YouTube on both channels. So we are here. This is a live show, guys. Live.
Hooray.
Live. Yes. And we'll announce some stuff that's going on as soon as our show starts. Are you excited to be here, Vicky?
Yes, I am. It's after my bedtime, and I'm still alert.
That's
you have to worry about these things when you're old.
So if you guys can, if you guys want to grab a drink, Vicky, do you want to go grab I'm going to go grab some ice water. I don't know if you want to do that really quick, or do you have something already?
I have some peach ginger turmeric tea that I'm drinking.
Ooh, sounds good. Okay, I will be right back.
Okay.
Feel free to tell everyone about your day or talk whatever you want to talk about outside of our program for tonight.
My day, well, rake the leaves because it's hot this time of year down in the desert, and my trees like to rain leaves. So that's my big activity. And of course, pet my kitties. And clean up after my kitties and feed my kitties. And talk to the neighbors about my kitties. And they talk to me about their dogs. Even at the grocery store, the clerk lives across the street from us. And so he tells me about his two big dobies that take him for a walk down the street. He's a pretty good sized guy. Somebody small, I don't think, could do that. Anyway, I'm working on getting things ready for our next show in about a month. It's just kind of strange not having shows and not having our Thursday night Palm Springs Village Fest, although I'm really not missing it because it's hot and humid right now. We may even have some rain. They say it might rain, but in the desert, not too likely. Anyway, I heard from James just before he went to bed. He's up on the river, and he sent me a picture at 9 o'clock at night in Montana. It's light enough that you could sit and read a book. So I asked him if he needed something to cover his eyes to be able to go to sleep. They have long days and short nights up there, I guess, in the summertime. And I can't think of anything else to talk about. I need Svea, but not James. I did go shopping today for material. My granddaughter-in-law and I are going to make a quilt for her sister-in-law for their new baby.
Oh, that's
Are you
nice.
back?
Yes, I had to go. I just realized I'm totally sunburned. I cannot believe that. And I was like, I probably should drink some liquid IV because I was in the sun a lot today. So,
Right.
yeah, I figured that's probably a smart thing to do. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's already 4 minutes in. Okay, so Vicky, at 10 seconds before, we're going to do our countdown.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we always do our dance. So we always dance
Yes.
at, when we dance at it gets our blood pumping for us. So we're awake for a show.
So we're not falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a busy day?
Oh my goodness. Yes. I'll
Take care
talk
of the
about
dogs?
mom. I'll talk about mom a little bit. Yeah, I was taking care of
Oh,
dogs
good.
today. Made sure that they all went to the bathroom. So I'm not going
And
to
not
be
on the
interrupted in the middle of the show. Oh, yeah.
Are you busy at the store right now?
Oh, well, I haven't been at the store because of mom. So,
Oh, okay.
it's been quite a busy week. Quite a busy
I can
week.
imagine.
And I'm sure everyone's going to love to hear our story. They're going to love to hear the story. I know, right? You have a very interesting story too. Everyone has interesting stories.
I guess you can embellish and make it interesting. Mine was like, rake the leaves, vacuum the cat hair, clean the litter boxes, pet the kitties.
I have my little one with me. She has been not really happy with me.
With her, because of her foot?
Because of her visitor.
Oh, right.
Yes. So, but yeah, it's crazy stuff.
We have a feral cat that probably has given birth to kittens now. And I hope they survive this heat. And then the other feral cat due any day now.
Wow.
So we're going to add more kittens. So I've looked up stuff for the subject matter for tonight. Have some information.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about cats today. Cats.
Kitty cats.
Cats.
You have one cat.
Yes, correct? I have one cat. I have one cat. Actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually grew up with cats, and I was a cat person before I had my first dog. So I
grew up on a ranch. We had cats. They were outside cats. I mean, we petted and everything like that, but they kept down the snakes and the mice.
Oh yeah, I'm sure lizards and gophers.
Oh, my cats like to find lizards and bring them in the house. And then I have to be careful when I get up in the morning. I always turn on lights if it's dark to make sure I don't step on the carcass of a lizard that has just died recently.
That's the worst.
Having cats.
That's the worst.
I had a friend that had a cat that always used to bring her gophers. And so she'd have to call me and I'd go over and get the gopher because she didn't do dead animals well. Yeah, it's almost getting close to countdown. I know we are. You're doing really good, Vicky. Okay, if you hear snoring, it's not me, it's Frank. Well, I know, right? That's funny. No, he's all excited because the Angels just won in overtime, so he had to come in and tell me. Oh, it's a good thing the show hadn't started. I didn't know he was an Angels fan. Yeah, he's a big Angels fan. He's an Angels and an Ohio State fan, so he has a red car. His sister also had a red car for the same reason.
Yeah.
Okay, we're only 10 seconds away from countdown.
I know, right?
And then the fun begins.
I know, right?
You want to do evens or odds?
Usually I
9,
start with,
8,
shoot, 7,
6,
4,
4, 3.
2. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's time to go.
It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Svea Yang and James Hermes. Let's get the fun started. It's time to start the show.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Hello.
Tonight? How are you doing? So it is Late Night Craft Night Talk. Late Night Craft. I can't even talk myself.
Late Night Craft Talk.
Night
I'm
Craft
reading the sign on the top. Craft Talk.
Late Night Craft Talk Night. It's Friday. It is our live show. We do live shows as many times as we can. Sometimes we can't. And you are probably wondering, where is my co-host? Well, I have a new co-host. My new co-host.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm the mother of the co-host. And we had to send him like 600 or 700 miles away. I think it's about 700 miles away. No, more like about 1,000 miles away, I guess. Anyway, so I could do this and put him out on a river where, he has no access.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we do this show every week. We either mostly try to do live, sometimes we do pre-records, and sometimes we have to have awesome co-hosts. But we do the show every week. We have been doing this since the start of the pandemic, and we have posted on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and we talk about it on our social medias. And it's a great way to keep in touch with us. And make sure to like and subscribe to our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our YouTube channel, our Twitch channel, our Instagrams, all that kind of fun stuff. Make sure to share this, because sharing is caring, and no one can know about the show if people don't share it. So feel free.
That's right.
So this week, James, he's actually on, or not this week, this month, James is not here.
Yes.
So we have an update for him that he wanted to share. So I'm going to try to load that up on my screen. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. Okay, now there we go. I'm going to share my screen, present, share screen, share audio, and it's going to be Facebook. And we're going to share. Okay, so here it is. We're going to press play. Whoops. Hold on a second. Let's start over.
Hey, Friday, Late Night Craft Talk. Happy Friday, y'all. This is James Hermes. I am on day 5 paddling the Yellowstone River. And on about 85, 90 miles tomorrow, we'll be hitting our first 100 miles of 540 miles to paddle this river from Yellowstone National Park. Just north of it, the confluence with the Missouri River and North Dakota. So I got to tell you, the drive up here is amazing. The river's amazing. It's first time paddling a mountain river, and especially this side of the Continental Divide, and it is absolutely gorgeous country up here. And I can see where some of the weather can get wicked, but this is the Yellowstone River behind me. We're still in some mountain valleys, kind of still the foothills of the Rockies of western Montana. We're starting to see everything kind of open up, and we should be hitting the Great Plains proper probably in a couple of days. And we're probably only a couple of days also from Billings, Montana for a resupply, our first of a couple resupplies. So anyway, there's Slaughterpocalypse, the kayak, doing solid. We've been paddling a little bit of class 3, but mostly class 2 whitewater the last couple, ever since we started the trip. But it's starting to kind of calm down. The river started to open up and be more flat. So pretty amazing. We've seen a lot of bald eagles. God knows how many osprey. We actually paddled by an elk that was drinking from the river, and we've seen lots of deer, pronghorn antelope. And just again, amazing country. It's Montana. It's big sky country. And I got to tell you, it's hard to get used to the long daylight hours. The sun's not down until about 10 o'clock at night. It's up at 6, but those long hours throw you off. So anyway, doing solid. Y'all awesome. Thanks for watching the show tonight. That's the update for me. I will give you an update next week.
Yes.
Hey.
What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so that's
All right.
James. That's update from James and how he's doing. So this week, I don't have a lot to report from Dancy Bear. For those of you who follow me or my friends or you follow Chris, Chris had hip replacement surgery last Friday. And so she's been recovering and I've been helping her recover. So it's been a little bit of a busy week. She when she was in the hospital, she was supposed, actually when she went in for surgery, it was supposed to be outpatient. She was supposed to be out the same day, and after she had her surgery, she had to pass the test. The test was she had to be able to lift her leg on her own, and she wasn't able to do that because her leg was very weak. And so they kept saying, okay, keep trying. And if you can lift your leg, we'll let you go home. She couldn't lift her leg. So they admitted her to the hospital, which was a little kind of worrisome, but they said, everyone's different. Everyone needs different times to, be able to walk after the surgery. Meanwhile, there was a really oldie moldy guy that was even older than Mom that somehow passed his test and walked home same day. So getting a little nervous and a little nerve-wracking because she wasn't able to walk after Saturday, which they said, oh, she'll be able to walk after Saturday. So they said, don't worry, it's Sunday. She'll be able to walk on Sunday. Well, on Saturday, we tried a couple times and her blood pressure was dropping every time she tried to stand up. And so they sat her down and I had told her, I'm like, Mom, you really got to really push yourself. So we tried a couple times where we just got her to sit on the bed and just put her legs down and just sit for a little bit. And then she laid down. And then later in the evening, her really great nurse at night, Brandon, he really helped her. And we asked him, like, can you help us? Like, can we try to get her up and walking after PT left? And she was able to stand up and walk. And she walked to the door and back in her room. So we're like, okay, this is really promising. And her blood pressure didn't drop. And then on Sunday morning, she stood up and her blood pressure dropped. We're like, oh. And then the PA came in. The PA is what James would be. He came in and he the Mom, and he said that if her blood pressure doesn't drop when PT comes again on Sunday, she can leave. She just has to not be able to drop her blood pressure. And
that's something she can't really control, just like say, well, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, Mom, you got to do this. You're a trooper. You can do this. You can do this. And when PT came in the afternoon, blood pressure dropped. So again, Sunday overnight. So I was really getting worried because I didn't want them to say, okay, Mom, okay, Chris, you're going to have to go on extended care. I didn't want that. That's my concern. I don't want that to happen for her. And so on Sunday morning, she got up and she was able to walk and she didn't have a drop of blood pressure. Thank goodness. So then they said, okay, you can go home. So Monday afternoon, I brought her home and we started working on getting her she had to walk from the garage to the front door. So she had to walk a bit. She was going slowly, but she was doing it. And the first night was a little rough, but after the first night, she was able to walk a bit more and she's feeling really well. She's not having a lot of pain, which is really amazing because she's had a lot of pain before this. So she's very feeling so much better. And
her pain threshold is probably pretty high.
It probably is because she was not. She was in a lot of pain before, and
right, that's what I mean.
Yeah. So, and then they were, they had said, oh, well, if you're in a lot of pain and you have so much pain, you need to go and you need to take oxycodone, which is like really hard medicine. And my mom's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. And so she didn't need it. She wasn't in enough pain to need that. So that's really good news. Yeah. So I'm just very, very thankful. We had a great doctor, a great surgeon who did my mom's surgery. They did an anterior hip replacement. And I don't know if you guys know what a hip replacement is. Do you guys know what a hip replacement is? Like what they do? Because I asked them, I said, what do you guys do? What is a hip replacement?
Yeah, it's gross.
They literally cut
it involves saws and hammers.
Yeah, they cut off the ball of and they replace it with a metal piece that goes down into your leg. So they drill into your leg, they put it down into your leg, and you have like a metal piece. So you're literally bionic, right? And then Joy is like, yes, I know. But then on the inside, they have to grind out your hip and they put in a receptacle so that metal piece can go in. Oh my gosh. It's crazy. And Mom told me so many times how when she rolled into the surgery room, it looked like a torture chamber. There were all kinds of weird tools, all kinds of weird devices in there. And she was just like, I just don't want to be, I just don't want to feel, because the type of anesthesia they use for hip replacement is Twilight. They don't fully put you under. They give you a nerve block or like a what's it, epidural, and they just knock you out so that you're out of it, but you're not deep under. She's like, I just don't want to hear the saws going. So she's doing really good.
Did she hear them?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So after her surgery, it took her about 2 hours to wake up. Generally, it takes people 20 or 30 to 45 minutes to wake up. So she recovered on her own time. So that's really good. And like I said, she's really doing well. She's not struggling so much. She's taking the physical therapy very well. She's practicing exercising every day, doing her movement she needs to do. So it's all been going really great for her.
Good. That's so good to hear.
Yeah, I was very worried just because I know things are routine. I know it's a routine outpatient surgery, but you never know. You never know what can happen. And
it's amazing that used to be like a week in the hospital.
Yeah. And it would take you, I think it used to take people like a month or two to recover because they couldn't walk.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, they were expecting her to be walking right after her surgery, which is insane. Right. It's such a huge.
I've had family members that had a hip replacement and 2 knee replacements, and they have them up sometimes the same day if it's an early morning, but they're up and walked in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. I mean, it's and then I also asked the doctor, what's the difference between, like, why are hip replacements so much less hard to recover? A few things they found is that they said the anesthesia the way they do the anesthesia now, it's very helpful for someone to recover. Additionally, they said they start the patients off on certain regimens of medication in advance to kind of help them prepare them for the surgery. And then after the surgery, they have medications for pain management that kind of like she's taking a nerve, gabapentin. Yeah, so she's taking that right now to help with the nerve pain. So when she says she doesn't have pain, she might have pain, but she's supposed to take gabapentin for 30 days. So it's like the medication she's taking is managing her pain very well. So she doesn't feel like she's having pain, which is great. So, but yeah, they said the doctor said, and actually Frank will be happy. My doctor went to Ohio State.
Oh, I'll have to tell him that. That'll just thrill him to death.
Yeah. And of course I had to throw in the little thing I told her surgeon. I said, I'll put it aside. You went to Ohio State because, my school, Arizona State, has a little bit of an issue with your school, but it's just a deep down grudge from like 1997 when the refs called some bad calls at the Rose Bowl game. And he kind of laughed a little bit. And he kind of laughed a little. He was like, well, I'll make sure to give her an Arizona State hip. I said, you do that then. It was fun. It was a fun banter. It was not a mean banter in any way. It was totally fun and professional and not mean, But we were really happy with her getting the surgery because now she can actually walk and be comfortable and not in pain and not feel weak. And so it's huge. I'm really happy for her.
That's great. So, well, my house is really quiet because we don't have James. But as he was preparing, and he's got all this gear that he's putting together in these IKEA bags, these blue bags, and he kept piling them up. We have a sofa in our living room, and he kept piling them up on there. And I didn't touch anything because I didn't want him to wind up like a friend of his who went on a trip and his wife decided that the food needed to be in the fridge and he didn't know it. And he went on his trip and he didn't have food, but everybody always has a little bit of extra. So it was only I think like a 3 or 4 day trip. So he had food. But anyway, the only problem was that my mama cat, Taco, decided she really wanted the flour tortillas. That's what he uses for bread is flour tortillas. And he puts them in a Ziploc bag. And I like put him back behind one bag and she got in there and she's in there and I heard her and she's digging it out. So I finally had to put it underneath a bag so she could not get at it and take it out.
Wow.
But now it's like really quiet because James isn't here. But I'm getting these chores that are around the house that I've been wanting to do for a while taken care of. And and right now the garage is clean where he does most of his assembling of his fans and knives. And he's a good artist because good artists usually don't clean up after themselves very well.
Nice.
And I don't care except when there's feather bits on the floor and you walk in the house, then it's all over the house because it's 6 to your feet. Anyway.
Yes, yeah. So, is there any news that Elk Rack Trader wanted to share this week? Are you guys doing the live? Are you doing the show, the art show in Palm Springs?
We are not. The news for Elk Rack Traders is there ain't no news because we're not doing anything. I'm getting caught up on stuff. Silly me, I had a bunch of knife sheaths cut out, and I got those all sewn up before he left. I should have waited, and I could have done it now. But I'm getting ahead on dream catchers. I have wrapped a whole bunch of spurs, and so I'll be putting leather and feather on those and getting caught up. The last show we did at Palm Springs was on 4th of July, and the previous 7 years ago when we did it on 4th of July, we had a really good night. It was very profitable, but this time it was so ungodly hot. It was still 100. It was like, I think 102 degrees at 10 o'clock when we were breaking down the booth. And so it was pretty close to 110 when we were setting up, maybe a little over, as I recall. I think it was like 117 as we were driving over there. Anyway, so there weren't a lot of people out shopping. And we could hear the fireworks off over there, shooting them off over by the high school, but we, of course, couldn't see them. So anyway, we got that show under our belt, and at Palm Springs, James pays 6 months in advance for his spot, and you have to show up at least once a month to keep your spot. And we have a really prime spot. The best part about it, it's in a good place and there's a lot of traffic, but the best part about it is that we're on the shady side of the street. We have a big, tall building behind us. So the street isn't like fry an egg hot. It's only burn your feet hot when you're setting up in the summer. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we don't have anything going on until He gets back, and I think it's Barona Powwow. No. It's Poway. I'd have to look and see. Anyway, we have a show right after he gets back.
Okay. All right.
That's
Well,
what's going on.
I'm going to show you really quick what Maya said. She says, I love your dream catchers. I have a few of them around the house.
Yes, you do. Thank you.
And then Maya said about the surgery, I would need to be put out or I would freak out. So good to hear she's recovering well at her pace. I never knew it was an outpatient thing. Yeah, so you would be passed out. You would not even be aware, but they just don't do a full anesthetic like what they do for like a standard surgery where they're like, say they're doing like I had a full anesthesia when I had my surgery in 2020. And so it took me a while to wake up, but that's definitely a little bit different.
And not just waking up, but did you have side effects afterwards? Did it last a while?
Well, I remember that
feel like it was coming back every so often. You know, mine usually I can feel the side effects for a month.
Well, I think that I had a bit of nausea, like I couldn't eat for a little bit, but I got better. I mean, I definitely slept a lot after that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really happy she's home. I'm really relieved. I did not sleep well when she was in the hospital. I was very concerned. I was worrying like crazy. Even when my mom was here, I had a really good friend of mine, Lori. She actually came out for 2 days right after mom got out of the hospital so that I could go and do a couple errands for the store. So mom wasn't by herself, which was very, very helpful. I feel so lucky she helped me. It was tremendously helpful. So, I mean, we're over the hump of the hardest part of her recovery, I feel. It's just now just her just walking and moving around and getting familiar with how her hip works now. So
is it really different? Does she feel more balanced?
Well, she just doesn't feel pain like she was. I think she was really in a lot of pain. And I think that like what you said, her threshold, she just wasn't realizing how much pain she was in because she's like, I have no pain. I don't even feel anything, you know? But like they say, you're not supposed to cross your legs. Like you're not supposed to cross your legs for a while. You're not supposed to twist your body. Like you're not supposed to like stand up and like twist or push your leg back.
No twist and shout. No twist and shout dancing.
And no bending past 90 degrees, especially right now. I don't know what after once everything's healed because they had to cut into her muscle and stuff. So the muscle holds it in place, which is crazy too. Like you would not think that's the thing, but that is the thing. The muscle holds the leg in place.
That's why we're supposed to do exercises to keep our muscles strong to help support our connections and our joints and our bodies.
Yeah, and my mom eats really like a bird. She always eats like a bird. She just has like crackers and some cheese. She's always been like that. And I think that on Monday morning she had they ordered her a full breakfast. Like they were telling her, oh, what do you want to order? Just order what you want for food. I mean, their room service is kind of amazing because if you can call anytime from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. you can call and order whatever food you wanted. She had no dietary restrictions, so like just order whatever you want. And she was like, "Oh, I'll have it." I think what she ordered. She ordered oatmeal and like one other thing, a coffee, and then she ordered like some chicken and green beans for dinner. And I think she wasn't eating enough because on Monday morning they didn't ask her. They just brought her in a full breakfast of all kinds of foods and stuff. So I wasn't there when that arrived, but she said that she didn't order it and they brought her this amazing breakfast. And I'm just thinking, I think they saw what she was ordering and they're like, she's not eating enough food.
But did she eat it all?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah. So, but, you know,
my mom was in the hospital several years ago and had to have surgery, and she was up at Loma Linda, and she had Filipino nurse. So she came out of surgery. It was kind of late. It was actually in the evening when she finally came out. So she hadn't had anything to eat in over 24 hours now. And so
Wow.
she asked the nurse if she could have something to eat. She said some soup or something. And the Filipino lady brought her in a bar of soap. She thought she said soap, not soup. But she's asking for food. My mom was upset about that.
Wow, that is so funny. Okay.
So, shall we talk about our subject tonight?
Yes, and I am actually, and I was like, oh shoot, I need to really quickly download these pictures, and I am not seeing any of them shared with me. So let's just talk really quick about why. So Vicky and I were talking about our show ideas and what we wanted to talk about, and she had found that we were just talking, and she was saying that her cats, she noticed that there's some feral cats. So why don't you tell a story, Vicky, about why we're talking about this situation, about the cat?
Well, we have feral cats. We have a house that no one lives in next door, and the yard has been let go, and so the weeds are as high as the fence, and the neighbors behind that house have trimmed their trees and thrown that over the fence. And this has been like this for about 15 years. So you can imagine what a mess it is. It's like a jungle back there. As a matter of fact, the house is so bad that when the wind was blowing a few years ago at 9:30 at night, we heard this noise and it went out. And this tree that had grown up and was leaning against that empty house had knocked the chimney off the roof and is laying on the ground. So anyway, it's a haven for cats. And a few houses down the street, they have kittens or cats that they don't do anything with except dump some food on the sidewalk every day and not very much. And they're reproducing. Well, they found this haven for feral cats in our next door. And there's 2 females and there's a couple of male cats that probably are not fixed, but they actually have homes. But there is one that obviously is a feral cat. And so they're the daddies. Matter of fact, they're the daddies of my cats because my cat was a kitten when I got her. And she was actually scheduled to be spayed. And she came into season. She didn't even act like she was in season. And all of a sudden, it's like, she's looking kind of pudgy. And yeah, she was pregnant. So that's why we have 6 cats now, because Paco had 5 kitties. And being old retired people, we quit. We kept them all. And it's entertaining and fun. As a matter of fact, one was just tapping on my leg under the table right just a few minutes ago, like, hey, pay attention to me. Anyway, so we now have 2 mama cats that have had kittens, and there's a white cat with a little bit of yellow on her, and she has a white kitten. And then there's a tabby cat, and she has 4 kittens. Well, now the mamas are pregnant, and one of them, I suspect, has had her kittens because we haven't seen her for a few days. And my neighbor on the other side of the empty house, we call it, is also sees the cats, and she's an animal person too. As a matter of fact, they have some chickens, and they let them come in the house because it's too hot, and they have diapers they put on these chickens, and the chickens walk around the house like they're a dog.
Oh, wow.
It's cute. They're funny. Anyway, so we have a feral cat problem, and so I've been doing research, well, with Riverside County, because that's where we live, on what to do. And I don't know when we want to go into that. But
Okay, let me show you guys some pictures. I found the pictures. So let me share the screen. Let's see here. Hey, Dan. I can hear this. Hold on a second.
I thought I'd be hearing Frank's, but he's got it turned down, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, here's this, and then we're going to share. Okay, so Vicky, tell us about this cat.
That is Miss Taco. After she was spayed, she had the cone of shame on. She's sitting on my walking foot sewing machine. She was trying to get away. I don't know, just get as high as she possibly could. Anyway, she kept getting the cone off and licking her incision.
Oh,
so
no.
we bought her onesies, and she would try like the devil to get them off, but they're Velcro on the back, so she couldn't. But she sure tried to get them off. She'd reach around there and try to pull on it.
Okay.
Anyway, so
and
that's
Taco was a feral cat.
No, well, I don't know. She was found in front of my daughter-in-law out in Parker was a principal at the local K2 school. And when she came to work one morning, opened up the gates, because there's gates around schools now, and went to her office. There's this little gray kitten right in front of her office, and nobody claimed it. So our son Joe said, "Mom, you want a cat?" Because he knew that all of our old cats had died. And so we went and got Taco. And she's named Taco because he drove down from Parker and met us at the Del Taco in Blythe, and we drove out there, and so we named her Taco.
This is Taco.
Actually, that one is that is Violet. She's named Violet because she's gray, but she has a white V on her chest between her front legs. And that's when she was spayed. And that's her cone of shame, and they get those things off so easy. And there's my husband Frank in the kitchen feeding all the kitties. We've trained him. We yell, "All you kitties," and here they come running, just tearing through the house. And that's the two girls. That's Red and Violet when they had their surgeries, and they've got we gave up on the cones and we just put the onesies on them. But they hung together, like, let's stick together, and maybe they won't do anything else to us. We'll help each other.
It looks like they're playing.
Okay, there's my cats. When we order cat food, which we go through a lot now with 6 cats, we get it from Amazon, and it comes in a box. Amazon and Chewy. Anyway, they have those air pillow padding things, that you get in packages. My cats love to play with those until they're flat. And so that's them in there in the living room. Just, it was hilarious. They're just rolling around and running under them and throwing them in the air. And it was really cute. And Taco, when we got her, she would jump in a box. And so we'd say, "Kitty in a box," and she would jump in the box. And which was kind of great, because when it was getting close to time for her to have her kittens, I had a big box and I put a towel in it in the closet, and I'd say, "Kitty in the box," and she would jump in there. And so in the middle of the night, because the closet's in my room, I heard her having kittens, and I got up. She was having her first kitten. So she had got in the box. So now all the kitties like to do kitty in the box. And so he's a pretty good sized cat in a little bitty box. He could just barely get his butt in there and sit there. And that's Whitefoot.
Oh, okay. It's almost done.
Okay, this is a kitty tower. We had it outside, but I didn't let the cats out until they had been spayed and or neutered and had their shots. So we brought it in the house, and this has, 3 stories, and they lay up on top, and there's like little holes where they can go up through the floor, and they just have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, that's cool. All cats love kitty towers. Okay, I think that's it. Okay.
Yes, they do.
So we are talking about feral kittens and about kitties and things you can do to help the kitty population. You were talking about the 5,000. It was called 5,000
challenge.
cat.
That's Riverside County's what they've named their program, 5,000 Cat Challenge, and they want to get cats, feral cats, and spay and neuter them and then re-release them. Because when they're feral, it's pretty hard to tame them. So they provide, you can get a trap from them, an animal trap, but you have to drive to Harupa for that, which is beyond Riverside. Well, the price of gas, and if I have 2 mama cats, a male cat, and 5 kittens that need to be fixed, that's 5 trips back and forth to Harupa. So I bought my own. You can get them on Amazon. And then once I capture them, I can take them to the local animal Samaritans, where they do spay and neuter, and I think they give them their shots. They give them rabies shot, and it should be free,
Probably
but sometimes for some reason they charge people. That.
I'm putting the link to 5,000 Cat Challenge. So if you are in the Riverside County area, if you want any more information about the Riverside 5,000 Cat Challenge, there are lots of different programs that are available within within local areas. I know that we have
the private sector. There's areas, or there's groups that are not public funded.
Yeah. And so these are great. Yeah. This is a great way to help out the community and take care of these animals, because many times these cats, they get pregnant so many times. It's just really hard on their bodies, and it's causing a problem with having too many cats around. I think that we looked it up that the cycle for a cat is 65 days. So every 65 days, a cat, a female cat.
Yes, that's the gestation period. And then for about a month while they're nursing, but they can still be nursing and come into season and get pregnant again. I found an interesting bit of information when I was on the San Diego Humane Society page, and it says, feline pets we keep today are still virtually identical to those who have thrived outside for millions of years. According to National Geographic, a study that compared the DNA of cats throughout history shows that no major differences exist between the genetic makeup of wild and domestic cats. As a result, they remain perfectly capable of thriving in the wild. And didn't you say that they have feral cats at Disneyland? And
so I was going to talk about that. I was going to talk about that in a little bit, but one of the things we were talking about is that so let's stick to the feral cats really quick on how to take care of them. There are a lot of different feral rescues and feral groups that take care of feral kittens and cats locally. So make sure if you want to volunteer, they're always looking for volunteers. They're probably always looking for any kind of monetary donations if you want to do that, or even I think supplies like food. Like they'll take food.
Almost everyone has a website with a link where you can go to Chewy and do a monthly subscription or just a one-time purchase, and that would be a great way to help them. And I noticed that their choices of cat food is not the most expensive, but it's not the cheapest kind that has the dyes in it, because it's the
fillers,
food dyes that make the cats throw up. My cats don't throw up because I don't give them the stuff with the food dyes in it. I mean, the food dye is for their owners to feel happy they're giving something colorful but not healthy. Like eating Twinkies all the time. You can't do that.
Yeah. So, but I know they would love to eat. We would love to eat Twinkies all the time and no health.
Twinkies and Hostess cupcakes, right?
Cookies. But so there's some of the things that the rescues will do, which Vicky was talking about. They actually catch the female cats and the male cats, and they fix them, and then they re-release them. And actually, if you see any cats where the ear is tipped, they actually re-release the ears and they cut the tip off of the ear so that it doesn't hurt the cat. But what the reason for doing that is so that if they find the cat, they know it's a feral release.
Right, that has been spayed or neutered. They also do a tattoo, a little green line tattoo on the incision mark. They do, instead of having to have the cat come back and have stitches taken out, they now do an internal stitch where the stitch dissolves. So once they've got them spayed and given their shots, out the door they go. They're not there. They're not kept, for several days for recovery or anything. They're just fix them up and out the door they go. But these cats are tough. They've been out living on their own and taking care of themselves. And I know that I'm sure that if we didn't have feral cats, we'd probably have various rodents and things like that from that vacant house coming over here on our property.
So what are the things that you can do? Like if you do have feral cats nearby, like you were saying, you were thinking about what you could do for that cat that might have had kittens.
Well, I'm a softie, and so I've been feeding them. I just couldn't stand to see them so thin. And so the second batch of kittens they're going to have is probably going to be a much healthier kittens. When I go out to feed them, I do just like I do with my cats in the house. And I say, all you kitties, all you kitties. And so they have learned that I'm bringing them. They don't come running up to me, but they know. And I'll go in the house and then I just peek out the window and I can see them. They run over there and they're eating. And I keep fresh water for them all the time. In the afternoon, now that it's hot, I dump the water out and let the water run until it's cool and fill their bowl with water. I keep it damp along the side of the house so it's cool for them to lay at least in that wet ground and cool off a little bit. So I just try to do as much as I can to keep them comfortable. I don't like to see, anything suffer except James.
Yeah.
But he's
well, the other thing is there's a lot of different organizations that do adopt out feral cats, and a lot of people get them in as they call them barn cats. So basically they're meant to be kind of situated and taken care of as rodent control, like natural rodent control. So you're not putting out poisons, you're not doing those kind of things to cause any accident or things. But of course, feral cats are always also part of the food chain. So unfortunately, that's the only thing about cats. I mean, they could very easily be a snack for a coyote.
Yes, but that's just life.
Yeah.
I used to live out in Texas in an apartment out just outside of town. It was actually an apartment on top of an airport, a private airport hangar. And cats were in and out of the hangar and stuff like that. And the doctor that owned this used to call them owl bait. And there'd be a bunch of kittens and then there'd be fewer and fewer, but every night you'd see the owls fly out of these big oak trees and fly around the hangar 3 or 4 times and then go off and hunt for the night. Sometimes they had easy pickings and sometimes they didn't, but that's why, like rabbits, they have lots of rabbits and it's the same thing. It's just part of the food chain.
Yeah.
As long as they don't get the Easter bunny.
Right. So one of the things that I was going to tell you guys about, I don't know if you know, I know Vicky kind of told everyone a little bit as a future of what's going on, but do you guys know that there are cats at Disneyland? And there's actually a Instagram that is connected to them. I'm going to put the Instagram page here. So there's actually a link. You can actually go and see the link of all of the cats at Disneyland. I'm going to show you the their Instagram page. But Disneyland, so kind of segueing, talking about barn cats, Disney actually has a program where they take care of cats, and there are cats on the property. And every once in a while, you can see this right now, right? Disneyland cats. There are 131,000 followers, and there's 500 posts. Cats of Disneyland. How fun is that? So there are a whole bunch of different cats that live there, and that Disneyland feeds them, and they take care of their medical, and they are just all over, and they have names. All of them are named. I know that people talk about this specific. Let's see this one. This one says, this is Marjorie. So they have different names, and you can actually see them at Disney. Like they aren't just hiding. They're all over. See this one, they're saying it's that Horatio. So all the cats have actual names, and you can see them in the park. Every once in a while, you just need to look around. I've seen some of the Disneyland cats. I've seen them when I was going. It was when we were on the tram, and I saw some cats in the side yard of the tram area. But yeah, there's cats, and they are taking care of the rodent population at Disneyland. So if you want to follow them,
cool?
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So they take care of their medical, they feed them. And Disneyland, a lot of people don't know this, but there's a lot of animals that it's almost like a refuge, Disneyland, because they have ducks that live there, they have geese that fly in, they have a whole bunch of animals that just live there, right? Because it's kind of a park. There's water, and then all kinds of stuff. But it's kind of cool that the birds live there, and you can see the crows. Goodness gracious, every time I've gone, there's thousands of crows in the evening that are landing into the trees. But it's kind of a cool thing. The cats of Instagram, cats of Disneyland, and you can actually go and see them. I mean, you just have to keep an eye out, but they are there, and I have seen them. So it's kind of fun. And some of the cats are friendly. So, I mean, you're not supposed to go after them, but like if they come up to you, I don't see why you can't, say hello. It's kind of fun. I would like to go there and just take pictures of
quite
cats.
a variety of them.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that they have those cats there. It's kind of a fun thing, right?
Some of them kind of look like some of mine. I've got, 2 blacks and 3 grays, but the one gray has white feet and a white tummy and white up his neck and under his chin. And I noticed several like that. And I thought, well, maybe they're related.
Yeah, I know, right? So
I was looking at San Bernardino's humane trap. Each county has their own program, and there you have to purchase a trap, and everybody you have to, unless it's something really horrendous, the county will not come out. Animal control will not come out and trap animals anymore.
Wow.
And so in San Bernardino County, they tell you can get cat traps at Harbor Freight, Home Depot, or Lowe's. And then it tells where the shelters are. And I'm not sure, but it appears that they have to pay somewhere between $37 and $57 for neutering and $60 to $80 for spay. So that could be a problem. They always advise you to catch them on like Monday or Tuesday and bring them in the morning. Like they say, trap them in the evening if you can when it's cool, and then to cover the cage so they won't be stressed. And one website even had a pattern where you can make covers because all the cat traps are the same dimensions, and no matter what brand, evidently. And you can make these covers to put over the cages. So they won't give you a trap, but they'll give you, people make these covers for the traps. So you can cover them up when you're taking the cat in, because they're in a great deal of stress because they are in a trap. And they're used to being roaming around, and they're in. I don't know who takes them out of the traps and gives them a shot so they can sedate them and do the surgery. But
right.
I thought, I don't want that job.
I think that they give them the injection while they're in the cage.
How do they do that?
That would be the only way I could think they could do it. But yeah, I mean,
or maybe give them a squirt of something. I don't know, that they smell. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
It always says set your traps at night. And if your trap is empty in the early morning, trigger the trap and reset it again at night. Do not trap over the weekends or holidays. And there's California state laws about trapping. It says to check with your local animal control agency first. When trapping, you will be responsible for the humane and legal care of the animal. Never trap an animal and relocate to another area. And that's from San Bernardino County.
Yep.
And San Diego County is pretty similar.
Yeah, I think that
Riverside County, the only difference is that they do provide traps if you're willing to drive all the way to Harupa to get them.
Well, I think that there are programs here where you don't have to pay for the cat to be released. I mean, they do feral cat spaying and neutering. There's all kinds of programs out there. You don't necessarily pay. So if you do have a feral cat problem at your home, do a little bit of research and find out what places can do it. And if
all you have to do is type in feral cat, and all kinds of information comes up. There's several agencies. I believe I remember 5 in Riverside County, in this end of Riverside County, they're basically private. They're 501 tax exempt. Yes, but they do this. We have a friend that used to actually be a powwow vendor and decided to start doing cat rescues because she lived over in Desert Hot Springs and cats were getting injured and stuff, and she'd pick them up and take them. And her house always smells like bleach. You can never smell a cat. She keeps that house spotless. But she's got all these cats, like one of them had lost an eye, and she takes them to the vet, and the vets, because what she's doing, don't charge her for this, So there are organizations out there that are willing to work with you. So you don't have to use your county. You can use one of the private agencies, and they are always asking for donations. I think whatever agency I wind up using I'll probably put them on a monthly thing on my Chewy account instead of a big bag of cat food.
Yeah, 100%. But
do you have any cat problems where you are? You're in
not really, because our area is not really. Our area doesn't really have a lot of cats. I rarely see cats here, but at our old place, we had cats that would terrorize my dog. We had this one big cat. He was super fluffy, like big fluffy cat. And he was always after Bambi. I don't know what the heck was going on why he saw Bambi, he would run up to him and try to attack him. And I had, like, it was a couple times where he actually scratched him. He was bleeding. I had to, like, clean his leg, and I was watching, and everyone was feeding that cat. I'm like, what the heck? This cat is, like, terrorizing my dog. And ended up, like,
well,
it was
and
just,
cats, you can't keep them contained like you can a dog. And I know my cats wander around and go into other people's yards, and evidently somebody didn't like having them in the yard nearby, and I'm pretty sure they were shooting them with an airsoft, and they weren't pumping it up all the way. But one cat came home and she had a wound right by her tail, so they were shooting her in the rear end to get her out of there. And then one other cat a few weeks later came home with a similar wound, and I recognized, I mean, at least it wasn't a BB gun. I'm glad of that. An airsoft just pierces the skin and causes a little sore kind of thing, a wound, but it doesn't, you don't go in, it doesn't penetrate. Anyway, I mean, they have a right to do it. If you don't want the cat in your yard, you just
yeah.
At least they weren't like trying to do anything awful, like poison them or something.
Yeah, I know. You hear stories, but we have a cat, and we don't ever let him out because I'm too worried. I mean, we have coyotes in our area, and where we live now, there's even more coyotes. I had coyotes playing in our front yard. So the cat's not going outside. The cat gets a nice place to roam around, and occasionally they find I don't even know when it happened, but I found a mouse tail in my bathroom floor. Yeah, it had to have been a mouse tail.
And a lizard tail.
No, it wasn't a lizard tail.
Okay.
It was for sure a mouse tail. It was like a bear tail with hair, a little bit of hair.
Oh, right, right.
So a mouse was in here, and my cat left a mouse tail right in front of the toilet. So at least we know he's doing his job.
Where was the rest of the mouse? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I didn't see a rest of a mouse anywhere at all in our whole place. So
Dan wasn't pulling a joke on you and just threw a mouse tail down?
No. I'm pretty sure the cat ate it. Because Wicket is actually, so Wicket was a bottle-fed, he was a bottle-fed kitten. His mom was feral. And there was this woman who was a groomer, dog groomer, and she would actually rehabilitate feral kittens and adopt them out. She would bottle feed them, and she would rehabilitate them and adopt them. And we bought Wicket from her. And I found out just a couple months ago she passed away. She had just moved she sold her house, she sold her business, which ended up closing because the person who purchased it ended up getting COVID and got long COVID, and she got really sick. So they ended up closing. She ended up closing her place. And all I know is that they moved to like Oklahoma. They moved somewhere in the Midwest. And they're like, peace out, California. We're gone.
Yeah, and the Oklahoma people are not happy. They want because they're bringing their politics to Oklahoma.
Yeah. I don't know if it was Oklahoma. I think it was Oklahoma. It was somewhere in the Midwest. And she's like, see this house? This is where I'm moving, and we're going to be happy. And it was sad because, I mean, she only moved there like a year ago, and she only had about a year or so of retirement, and she passed. So,
so sorry.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad to hear that, because you're like, oh, this, and I lost touch with her because
somebody's doing something, nice like that, and then.
Oh yeah, and that was her life. Like 100% was her life. Like she rehabilitated those feral kittens, and that was her big thing. And she did that for many years. I remember doing that when I was in high school, all the way to when I was older, and I got Wicket from her. So, but Wicket's a very wild cat. That's my segue. He's pretty much, we say he's a feral cat in our house because he's like so wild. So
we had, 6 cats in our house because we wouldn't let them out until they were neutered and spayed. And we had a dog. And so we actually have not one of those patio door inserts, but we actually have a pet door built through the wall and for a big dog. And the cats, as soon as they were fixed, we just took the door out and said, "You're on your own now."
Yep.
They don't like to go out right now while it's so hot. So about 8 o'clock at night, they start doing the kitty zoomies throughout the house. They have a good sized cat tree that 2 of them are sleeping in right now. And it normally sits next to a wall. Well, it was out in the middle of the floor in the entry because and sometimes things get knocked over. I had put some laundry in to wash and left the plastic basket sitting on the dryer. And this god awful noise woke me up in the middle of the night. Here's the basket on the floor, and because they were doing their zoomy thing. But it's too hot and they don't want to go outside.
Yeah. So Vicky, can you believe it? We've done our show.
Oh my gosh. It's sort of like, talking about your children or your grandchildren or your pets. You can just
I was like, this is a show. We could totally talk about this. We'll fill up a whole show about this. Hey, you know what, Vicky? I kind of feel like this is nice. James isn't around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should just kick him off the show. Do you want to do that? We can just change. We can make you the co-host.
James who?
Oh yeah, James who? I think we should get rid of that. Let's get rid of that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I think we're gonna have a new show next week. I think you guys are gonna really like it. We're gonna be no more James. James who?
James who?
James who?
Yes.
So with that said, we'll see you guys next week. We will be live next week. We'll see you.
Yes.
And this is Vicky. Yay! Thank you, Vicky. You did a great job. So I'm so glad you're permanent as of next week. All right. So Vicky, our tradition that we do is that at the end of the show, just like when we start the show, we start dancing. We have our music. I'm going to put on our end credits and we dance. So you can get up, move your body so that, because we've been sitting for an hour, so you're going to be able to get some fun
if
exercise.
I stand up, it'll be, I'm going to sit in the chair, because if I stand up, you're going to see my hiney doing the dance. And that's not pretty on an old woman.
Oh, okay. Well, I usually sit down as well. And I'll start our end credits, everyone. So everyone look forward to next week. It's going to be super amazing.
Aw, ain't he cute?
I don't like that end part. I don't like that thing. All right, everyone. Good night, everyone.
James did it. James who?
Yeah, I know, right? Have a great show. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right. Have a good week. Say hi to Chris for me.